Oi, what the bloody hell is Labour thinking? Mate, they're about to set a disastrous precedent that could screw over everyday Aussies in ways we've never seen before. I'm talking about a sneaky little superannuation tax on unrealised gains. And if your first reaction is, wait, what the hell is an unrealised gain? Don't worry, you're not alone. That's exactly what they want. For you to be confused, distracted, and too flat out busy with life to notice what's really going on here. So let me spell it out for you in plain Aussie. Imagine your house value goes up, yeah? But you haven't sold it. You haven't touched a cent. It's all just numbers on paper. Now imagine the government comes knocking saying, oi mate, you owe us tax on that value increase. Even though you haven't sold a bloody thing, haven't cashed in, they want their cut. That's what they're doing with super. Before we dive into this Albanese Warren Hogan tax bomb, where Labour targets your super, Hogan sounds the alarm, and the middle class gets caught in the crossfire. Smash that like button like you're slapping a tax bill on Canberra. Subscribe if you're sick of paying for political blunders. And grab the Promise Never Delivered Truth shirt. Link in the description. Now they say it's only for balances over $3 million. Sounds like it only hits the rich, right? That's the bait. But here's the trap. There's no indexation. That $3 million doesn't adjust for inflation. So year after year, more and more Aussies will get caught in the net, whether they're rich or not. It's like setting a bear trap on a public footpath and telling people not to worry because only bears step there. And here's the spicy bit. The Deputy PM won't even rule out doing this outside of super. Yeah, you heard right. They're testing the waters, seeing how much they can get away with. Today it's your super, tomorrow it's your family home, your shares, your small business, hell, maybe even your Pokemon cards if they go up in value. They're bloody desperate, mate, and it shows. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, come off it, that's a bit dramatic. But listen, Judo Bank's chief economist, Warren Hogan, isn't some bloke yelling from a pub stool. He's sounding the alarm. He straight up called it a disastrous precedent. His exact words, not worrying, not concerning. Disastrous. And when an economist uses that kind of language, you don't ignore it. You dig deeper. Because here's the kicker. This ain't just about tax policy. This is about a government that's lost control of its spending. They've maxed out the national credit card, and instead of tightening the belt, they're rummaging through your wallet. And now, with inflation still punching us in the gut, and mortgage repayments choking households, they're trying to wring out every last dollar from us while smiling for the cameras like everything's fine. But let's make this real. Picture this. You're a hardworking Aussie. You've been stuffing your super like a responsible adult, maybe even making a few smart investments. Suddenly on paper, you cross this $3 million line. Not because you're some corporate fat cat, but because property and markets went up. Now you owe tax on money you haven't even seen. Can't access it. Can't spend it. But you've got to pay up. Or else. That's not just unfair, mate. That's daylight robbery with a tie and a press conference. And don't fall for the "it's just the rich" line. That's the emotional bait they dangle, so no one asks questions. But the truth is, super was designed to grow over decades. And if you're self-employed or managing your own fund, this hits you even harder. You've got no employer matching, no special protections, just you, your savings, and now a bloody ticking time bomb. But here's where it gets even more cooked. The RBA might be cutting the cash rate. Good news, right? Mortgage relief. Easier pressure on the cost of living. Except Labor's new tax policy could undo that relief. Think about it. Aussies finally get a bit of breathing room from interest rate cuts, and boom, here's a surprise tax on paper gains you didn't even realise you had. It's like giving a drowning bloke a snorkel, then kicking him in the face. And banks? Well, they're playing the usual two-faced game, offering lower rates to new customers, while leaving the loyal ones hanging. Like cheers for the loyalty, now bend over. If they do pass on the cut, great, but don't bet your last Tim Tam on it. Banks are under pressure too, and let's be honest, they look after themselves first. But the heart of this story isn't about interest rates or the technical jargon of economics. It's about trust. It's about a government slowly boiling the frog, pushing the envelope a little more each time, hoping you won't notice until it's too late. And if they can get away with taxing unrealized gains in super, what else can they justify taxing next? Art? Crypto? Your bloody wedding ring if gold prices spike? Mate, this is the kind of policy that opens Pandora's box. Once you start taxing things that haven't been sold, you're not taxing income. You're taxing hope. You're taxing potential. And in an economy where people are already hesitant to spend, already saving more and bracing for the worst, this kind of move could absolutely crush confidence. And the cherry on top? Labor still refuses to cut its own spending. They're not leading by example. They're just pointing the finger at you and saying, "Cough up," Hogan put it bluntly. Stop the spending blowout first, then maybe talk taxes. But nah, they'd rather gut super and play economic roulette. So if you're still watching, do yourself a favor. Don't let this slide under the radar. This isn't about being pro-labor or anti-labor. This is about holding any government accountable when they start creeping into areas that should be untouchable. Super is your money. You worked for it. You saved it. You earned the right to manage it without the taxman punting your future because they can't manage theirs. This is bigger than just one policy. This is about the kind of country we want to be. Do we want to reward long-term saving and personal responsibility? Or punish it? Anyway, that's the spicy truth they won't tell you on the 6 p.m. news. If you're as fired up as I am, smash that like button like it's your next tax bill. Drop a comment below and tell me, is this the moment we all finally say, enough is bloody enough? Or are we going to let them tax the air we breathe next? Subscribe if you're tired of this political theatre. And if you want the truth without the sugarcoating, you know where to find me. And hey, check out the merch. Promise never delivered truth. Because nothing says modern politics like empty slogans and a bill in the mail. Cheers, legends. Stay sharp. Don't let them get away with it.